Universe and Index Universal Life. How does Index Universal Life fit into Epi-Digm Universe? How is it Spider-Man, uh, Epi-Digm Universe, right? Number one, we need to understand what IUL is. IUL stands for Indexed Universal Life. What is Indexed Universal Life? It's a life insurance product with cash value. How does cash value life insurance work? The policyholder pays premium to life insurance company, and life insurance company gets money, and very first thing they're going to take away from this policyholder's money is what? The cost of keeping the insurance alive. So they take out the miscellaneous fees and cost of insurance, and all the fees are taken out from that money, and the remainder is going where? To a savings account. Savings account that is built into what? Life insurance policy. The savings account that is built in to a life insurance policy is called cash value. Okay, cash value is nothing more than savings account associated with permanent life insurance policy. Okay, now that's cash value life insurance. One of the cash value life insurance is big two when it comes to life insurance. Permanent life insurance is also known as cash value life insurance, universal life, and whole life. What is whole life? Who determines how much money you put it into life insurance policy when it comes to whole life? Is it client or insurance company? Insurance company. Insurance company tells the policyholder how much premium is necessary. That's a whole life for you. And because the insurance company dictates how much the premium is, what is policyholder getting? Policyholder is getting guaranteed interest rate and guaranteed death benefit. So when insurance company is guaranteeing interest rate and guaranteeing death benefit, is the cost going to be higher or lower than flexible? It's going to be higher. So premium will be higher, and a lot of time interest rate will be less competitive than universal life, which I'm going to talk about. Universal life is also known as a flexible premium whole life policy. No one calls that anymore, but that's what they are known when they first start from the inception. So what it means is that who's determining how much premium is paid into the life insurance policy? Is it a client or is it a insurance company? It is determined by policyholder within certain limitation. So what insurance company will do is that they'll give you windows, the maximum and minimum. But more than likely, a policyholder can put whatever the amount that they want to. And with enough cash value, they do not have to put money either. They can actually skip a premium. They can lower or increase their premium as they want to. So that's universal life. So out of index universal life, we talk about universal life. What about index? Index is related to how that cash value, remember the savings account attached to life insurance product is called cash value. How is that cash value accumulate its interest? If insurance company determines the interest rate of the cash value, it's either traditional universal life or whole life. Whole life and traditional universal life, insurance company tells a client how much interest they're getting. What about index universal life? Who's determining how much interest rate you're going to get on the cash value? Who or what is determining the interest rate? Index. So a little more pricely, index, because it's more, a lot of times it's more than one index. So it is an index that determines your cash values interest, the rate of return. If index did well, you get higher interest rate. If index did poorly and it got negative, what do you get? Zero, no interest, but you're not losing money. That's the beauty of Index Universal Life. So I just explained what Index Universal Life is within that less than 5 minutes. Universal Life means flexible premium with a savings account built into the permanent cash value life insurance policy. Index Universal Life means that cash value, the savings account attached to the life insurance policy, is the growth is determined by index. Now, the main purpose of having the cash value account on the life insurance policy is so that when you get older, when the client gets older, like 80, 90s, what's going to happen to cost of insurance? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? What do you think? It's going to go up because of the cost of insurance is purely based on the chance of you dying. As you get older, chance of you dying is higher or lower? Higher. That means cost of insurance will also be higher or more expensive. Then how are you going to cover that higher cost of insurance? What Universal Life and Whole Life is doing is that they take extra premium in earlier stage of the policy and put it into cash value. When the client gets old and cost of insurance is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, instead of asking client for more premium, what insurance company will do is that they'll take the money, they'll take the money from the cash value account and apply it toward their cost of keeping their policy going. That was my number one reason for having cash value accounts. Now, in order for this to happen, the insurance company has get a very good tax deal from IRS. Number one, the interest that you're gaining on the cash value, you do not have to report that as a gain every year. So you get, technical term for that is tax deferred growth. As the cash value gets bigger with the interest rates, you do not have to report that as an income or capital gain. You do not have to pay tax on that. The gain is tax-free growth. The more technical term is tax deferred growth, right? So the money grows without having to pay tax, which means the growth will be better. And another thing is that since they're taking money out and things like that, what also insurance company has gotten from this tax law is that client can take money out the premium first. It's called FIFO, right? They can withdraw their premium first. If the client takes out premium first, premium is after tax money. You already pay tax on that premium. You pay income tax on it and you put that in a life insurance policy. So that premium, when you withdraw the premium, do you have to pay tax on it? No. So it is a tax-free withdrawal. So when you take withdrawal, you don't have to pay tax. But what if you take the withdrawal in addition to your total premium? Client can withdraw, but that will be a taxable. But what client can do is that instead of taking out his own money, he can ask insurance company to loan him the money. Let's say he needed $10,000. If he takes it out cash value, it's going to be taxable. So what policyholder will do is that ask insurance company to loan me $10,000. So insurance company will loan policyholder $10,000. The reason why insurance company can do that is because insurance company can take $10,000 from where? His life insurance policy, the cash value. So in a nutshell, what's happening is the insurance company is taking a loan against your cash value, and you get a loan from insurance company in the same amount. So insurance company charge you interest, and insurance company also has to pay interest on your money that they hold on your cash value. So a lot of times it becomes wash, meaning there is no interest. So in a way, it's a tax. In a way, it's a money laundering. But this is a very, very legal and friendly money laundering. We don't want to call it a money laundering because it's not a really money laundering. But that's what it is. You do not have to pay tax. So clients do not have to pay tax when they access cash value. So we can call it a tax-free access. Now, since it is a loan, do they have to pay it back? Yeah, eventually. But when do they pay back? When they die. When they die, the death benefit will become income tax free. From the income tax free death benefit, they take the money. They're getting their loan back. So insurance company to get their money back, and you do not have to pay tax on that at all on the death benefit. So three things that you have to remember about life insurance policy: tax deferred growth, tax-free access, and tax-free death benefit. You have to understand that. If you understand this, then we can move on to the next slide. Okay, that's Index Universal Life for you. Now remember this chart? We done this last week. So we can sell life insurance, annuities, and health insurance, and LTC, disability, critical illness, and things like that. We can sell those. Now, where does life insurance fit into this chart? IUL, IUL fit into life insurance. So a lot of times IUL is fit very well in individual life insurance, right? So we have no problem looking at that and say, oh, okay, this is where Index Universal Life falls into. Can life insurance or Index Universal Life be used in group life insurance, in pension design? The answer is with some limitation, but we can. Most of the time when you do the pension design, the most insurance company use whole life for the pension design. But if client wants a little more aggressive cash accumulation, we can do a little bit of tweaking and use Index Universal Life in group setting, in pension setting. So Index Universal Life can fit into there also. Is that it? No, there is another one. What about long-term care and disability? See, Index Universal Life, not all of them, but the most Index Universal Life that we deal with has critical, chronic, and terminal illness rider, which means it can be used almost as it is long-term care product, right? So we got Index Universal Life fit into this three places, okay? So this is really good, all right? Here's the next one. Remember 4 W's? Wealth protection, wealth creation, and wealth distribution, and wealth transfer. Remember this from last week? Now, how does IUL work on each of these 4 phases? Does the IUL, Index Universal Life, by the way, whatever I'm telling you, whole life might fall into the same thing. Some of them may not, but whole life is falling very nicely along with Index Universal Life also. That's also true with the Universal Life as well. Now, life insurance will give you the protection, the wealth protection. If you have somebody who's working and he's bringing $50,000 into a family member every year, and if he dies now, how much income loss will that family have? Let's say he's only 40 years old and he has another 25 years to work. Now 50,000 plus times 25 years is what? It's almost what? 25 years is 1.25 million, right? We have that loss. How are you going to cover that loss? With life insurance. So insurance product, Index Universal Life works very well with wealth protection. I just told you, told Kaori this afternoon. Remember dime method? Remember dime method? I think that's the best method. There are many different ways, but I think dime method is the easiest to talk to your client about having need for the bigger life insurance product. Okay, so it fits very well with the wealth protection. What about wealth creation? What's involved in wealth creation? Wealth creation means that your gain has to be has a very favorable treatment from the tax, and you have to have a very good investment option. Does the IUL have that? Yeah, IUL has a very aggressive index option, and it also has investment risk is eliminated altogether, right? Because it protects against the loss. And because of the higher interest rate, the possible interest rate, inflation risk is also taken care of. And not only that, I just told you that Index Universal Life and all whole life also, cash value on this cash value life insurance grows tax deferred. So you do not have to pay tax on gain. So it works very well with wealth creation. What about wealth distribution? When you take money out, do you have to pay tax? Right? That's one thing that you have to remember. So once again, favorable tax treatment is one thing to remember. And what about income management? Now, can you use it as a retirement income? Can we use IUL as a retirement income? Yes, we can. Can we use a whole life as a retirement income? Yes, we can. So wealth distribution can be well managed with Index Universal Life and other cash value life as well. I rarely talk about this, but life insurance, some of the life insurance product also has a guaranteed lifetime income rider. Okay, so it's a little bit more advanced, but at this point, I'm not so sure whether it is something that we want to talk about to the client because the amount is a lot better with your own systematic withdrawal and loan option than using Clear, guaranteed lifetime income rider. But there's that option. Okay, so the income management is already there on that permanent life insurance setting. What about wealth transfer? Does it fit well with the wealth transfer? Albert? Yeah, it's one of the best, right? You don't have to worry about probate because life insurance product already named the beneficiary upon the owner's death, upon the insurer's death. So it does not have to go through with the probate. No messing with the probate. No mess with the lawyers in terms of estate planning. So it works really well. And remember, I told you the death benefit is income tax free. Income tax free. So you don't have to pay income tax. I mean, you're not going to pay if you're dead, but your son or daughter, whoever is receiving the death benefit, do not have to worry about income tax on that proceed. And you can also do some advanced training and have life insurance owned by ILET, Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, and put it in a trust. And you can actually make it outside your estate, so which will reduce your estate tax too. But you don't have to worry about estate. As far as I can tell, you do not have to worry about estate tax. What's the exemption amount right now? Is it 11 million? Something like 40 million? I don't know. What is it, Albert?
I think it's 12.5.
12.5 million. If you have more than 12.5 million, you have to worry about estate planning.
Yeah.
But if your asset is lower than that, you don't have to worry. So I think all of us, including myself, do not have to worry about estate tax.
But it will it will go down.
Yeah, there's a sunset provision. So hopefully, as of right now, we don't have to worry about it. But it's better to create some trust and things like that. But going back to index universal life and permanent life insurance policy, would they fit very well with a wealth transfer? Yes, yes. Almost all estate planning, um, almost all estate plan involves a little bit of life insurance. Life insurance. Wealth transfer is not only just transferring the wealth, but you may have a special need kid, and that kid need money when you're gone. How are you gonna fund that special need trust? The easiest way to fund that trust is with life insurance policy also. So wealth transfer works very, very well with a permanent life insurance, especially index universal life. So it fits very well. Now you probably begin to see why I think that index universal life or permanent life is the very first thing that we need to talk about with the clients. Then we talk about annuity, then we talk about pension, but a lot of times what we need is a life insurance first. Proper amount of death benefit. Okay. Now remember this? I told you that we also look at our universe in this way: increased cash value, death management, emergency fund, proper protection, long-term saving, estate planning, tax management, investment management, income management, college funds. Now, will permanent life insurance, especially index universal life, fits well within this picture? Yeah, of course. Proper protection. You got protection, right? Life insurance is there. Can we use it for long-term saving? Of course you can use it for long-term saving. You probably want to overfund your life insurance, but if you overfund your life insurance, if not max funding it, max funding will be the best way. It could be used as a long-term savings. Minimize taxation, maximize the growth, and no investment risk, very little inflation risk because it has a higher growth potential. Can we use it for estate planning? Of course we can use it for estate planning. Can we use it for tax management? You will not get a tax deduction on individual plan, but you get tax deferred growth, tax-free access, tax-free death benefit. If you use it on the pension design, you get tax deduction, tax deferred growth. You have to pay tax on your distribution when you take the money out, but when you die, the death benefit is tax-free. You cannot get all four. Somewhere along the line, you have to pay. Okay, so that's something that you can do with the tax management also. Investment management, I already talked about it, right? It's got index, so you got many different index options, and investment risk is zero because there's a minimum floor, which is a 0%, right? Then growth potential, and a lot of index universal life now has an on-cap strategy. The growth potential is a really, really good. Income management, I told you, systematic withdrawals and loans and withdrawals, you can use it as an income. And and not only that, few insurance company has guaranteed lifetime income rider also. So when you're using guaranteed income rider, sometimes they even use your death benefit as your lifetime income. Okay. Now, can we use it for college fund planning?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't have to report it to FAFSA. Can you use it for increased cash flow? It's kind of hard, right? How can you increase cash value when you put the money into the policy? So it doesn't work. What about debt management? Yeah, you can use it as a debt management because instead of lending money from somewhere else, you can actually loan it against your cash value. You can use your cash value to purchase a car. What you need to do is that instead of just use it as a withdrawal, use it as a loan. Treat that as a loan and then pay back. And I mean, this involves a little bit of advanced understanding about understanding about index universal life. If you use participating loan option, Albert, this will
I'm
be
sorry?
perfect. Participating loan option.
Oh, yeah.
If you take the money out, even though you're taking money out, that money will still be in index, right? Because technically you're using whose money? You're not using cash value. You're actually using insurance company's money. And with the participating loan option, you can actually have that amount still being index credited into an account. We call that, this industry calls it infinite banking system. Make it into your, making IUL as your personal banking system. One of these days I'm going to talk about that. Can we use it for emergency fund? Yes, you can. But emergency fund normally means short term, right? It's not a long term saving. A lot of times it's a short term saving. What's prohibiting from IUL or permanent life insurance from becoming a short term investment product? The biggest thing is surrender charge. Can you waive the surrender charge, Albert?
In a way.
Yeah, there is a way. Enhanced cash value riders, balance sheet benefit rider. If you use that, then you may be able to access your money all your stage of the game. However, that's not something that I'm going to recommend, because as much as you're using the money in all your stage of the game, you're not only using that money, but you're also taking away what? The growth potential. But if you're utilizing it in a very smart way as a participating loan option, it may work. It may work, right? So all this with not 100%, but with cover with index universal life and other cash value products. I know that most of you are new. If you're new, utilize your experienced agents and open up your book, and you have to trust. I mean, the confidence and trust is something that you need to have, and the experienced agent need to help you out. But which also means that you have to share your clients with a mentor or trainer also. I mean, trainer cannot spend all that time with you without getting paid. If you're getting just a little bit of pay, what happened? I mean, and it's a human nature. Sometimes it makes sense to, one of my old mentor told me to go to the field with as many agent as possible, meeting the client. I mean, it's a new. If you're asking somebody from other insurance company to help you on your sale, is he gonna do that for free? No, he's not gonna do that for free. You're gonna have to split sale. But my mentor told me, hey, split sales and take them out as many time as possible in the beginning stage of your training, because everyone approach this planning differently, and you get to learn everybody's skill. You have to invest first to earn money. All right. So that's something that, I mean, I'm not forcing you, but something to think about. Okay. Anyway, this is training phase that I talk about. So it has very little to do with IUL, but I think that pretty much ends my training about how does Index Universal Life fit into our Epi-Digm products and service.